Hi everyone, welcome back to MCM Outdoors. I haven't done a product review for a while, and you know, we all love tents. I certainly love tents very much, and I'm always keen to try out different tents. I've had many over the years, as some of you know, and I was contacted by a company that sells some of their product through Amazon, who asked if I wanted to test out this tent here, which is made by a company called Gonex. I'll leave a link to this tent in the description below. It was sent to me free of charge, and obviously I'm at liberty to say what I want about it. Just give a fair and honest review. There's no pressure whatsoever. Just, do you want to try this out? Let us know, make a video of it, see what you think. So it's quite a big package, as you can see here. First thing I want to state is it's obviously not a wild camping tent. It's not a tent to take in your rucksack to go and climb to the summit of a mountain, predominantly because it weighs just a shade under 4 kilos. I think it's 8.8 pounds, but in kilos it's just under 4. So I would say it's an ideal tent for car camping. I've had it up a couple of times in the garden, I've had it up in the rain, I've come to it the next morning and made sure it hasn't leaked and checked all the basic things out, and I think it can give an honest review of what I think it's like. So very quickly, it's pretty much a square. It's 240 by 240 centimeters. It's 150 centimeters tall, so it is quite tall as well. There's a lot of room in it, as you're going to see when we set it up. It's pretty easy to pitch. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes once you get the hang of it. You just peg it out. Obviously you've got 2 main fiberglass poles. The poles are fiberglass. Obviously there's a bit more weight there. I prefer obviously to see aluminium, but again, you're going up in price when you're going into the realms of aluminium poles and stuff like that. Got a couple of cross poles out just to give some tension on the porch areas. The porch isn't massive, as you'll see when we set it up, but it's nice and airy. It's got a big roomy inner. You can get 4 thermarest or 4 sleeping pads in there. It's a 4-person tent, and it really is, and there's lots of room in there. Really steep walls, as we're going to see when we set it up in the garden shortly. But I like it. Good bit of kit. You know, it's reasonably well made as well. We'll have a little look at the stitching and things like that, but it comes in this carrying pouch. You've got these you know, straps on it, these cord straps which just tighten it up, keep it all together, and it's a decent little package. It's selling at the moment for 97 quid, I think, on Amazon. Like I say, the links are below. It's not an affiliate link, I don't get anything from it other than obviously being sent the tent. I might donate this one to my sister, and she can use it for my niece and nephews, Stanley and Hattie and Walter, and they can have a little go in it. But enough waffling, let's get out into the back garden and get it set up and see what it's like. First things first, let's get the tent set up. I'm not going to do a time lapse, but I'll film it in real time and just speed up the footage in the editing software. So hopefully you're going to see how simple it is to pitch. Like I say, just a simple square, 240 by 240 centimeters. Peg out the corners, assemble the poles, which are obviously threaded with elastic and the fiberglass. They just go across the diagonal of the square, and you'll see how easy it is to pitch. So let's get it set up. So the stuff sack the tent comes in, it's quite robust. It's obviously got these webbing straps, carry handles, which is nice and convenient, and that is further enhanced by these 2 buckles with cords which just cinch it all down, just compact it down, make it even smaller. Like I say, it's quite heavy at 4 kilos, but if you're car camping, or there's a couple of you, and you can distribute the weight, take maybe the poles out, you can maybe overcome that aspect. But at the end of the day, it's only 4 kilos, and like I say, it is not a wild camping tent, I don't think. Inside here, we obviously have a couple more bags. You've got the fly sheet and the inner tent, which is just, again, compacted down with this bit of cordage as well, just to tie around it. There's some instructions inside the bag which tell you how to pitch the tent. On nice days you can pitch it without the rain fly if you want some, you know, nice airflow to it, especially summer nights, clear skies. Do a bit of stargazing from within the tent. You obviously get some pegs. You'll see these anyway, nothing special, they are just standard steel pegs. You might want to replace these with something a little bit more robust, or the ground anchors if you're going to be pitching it in wind, but we'll have a look at them in a little bit more detail. First things first, let's get it set up. So we've got a bag of poles, which, like I say, the fiberglass, so they account for quite a lot of the weight. I would say that's pretty heavy, but the inner got a 3000mm hydrostatic head, and it's just a square, 240 centimeters by 240 centimeters. Just a case of getting your pegs, peg it out the corners. So that is it in terms of the initial pegging out of the tent. Now it's simply a case of getting your poles out. There's a couple of shorter ones which are in grey, which are for the porch area, and your long main poles are in this black colour. So these are the clips, just like the Hilleberg. They just clip onto these sections of fiberglass pole, like so. Work your way around the tent and just build it up. That is the inner completely done, and if it's not going to rain, you know, a nice summer warm evening, you can just leave it like that and not put the rain fly. You've got two doors, you've got a mesh on the top just to allow some airflow with a bit of a screen behind it. Nice bug mesh there. You can see the top section, roughly the top third of the tent, is again covered by this bug mesh. Assists with the airflow, lets the warm air rise through the tent and fall away down from the sides. Decent quality. I've had a little look at the stitching, there's no missed stitches, and it all looks put together quite well. We've got a bit of a healthy bathtub inner that you can see in the darker grey, just coming up from the base of the tent, just to protect you on particularly wet ground. And on that subject, it's a 3000mm hydrostatic head on this particular fabric, which is going to, you know, it's all you need for the great British summer. The seams on the base of the tent are all taped, and that's just some extra insurance just to stop any water seeping through them. So as you can see, it's quite steep walled, and what that means is inside the tent that equates to more space, gives the feeling of room. A while back I reviewed the Sierra Designs Meteor 2 for my friends over at Valley and Peak, link above. That is a backpacking tent that has very steep walls, and that just assists with the volume, the internal volume inside the tent, gives you that bit of extra room. You don't feel as cramped and claustrophobic. So yeah, as you can see, it took a lot longer than 3 minutes. So Gonex, you might want to reevaluate your pitching time. I'm saying 8 to 10 minutes with two of you. With two of you, it'll obviously be a lot quicker. So yeah, either side of the tent, and I will show you in due course, you've got this half moon sort of crescent shaped vents with a tie out point. Again, just aids with airflow and ventilation throughout the tent. You've got a gear loft inside. We're going to go in and have a look. There's the resident cat, which poos all over my lawn, thanks. You can see the gear loft inside. We're going to have a look at all the components. We're going to look at all the zips and the stitching in a bit more detail. All that's left to do now is the rain fly. Let's pretend it's a typical British summer, and therefore it's going to be chucking it down all day, or for most of the day, and we'll get this rain fly on. So that's the 4 guy out points on each corner of the tent done, and then these half moon vents toward the base. Just pull them out, and same on the other side, and then we'll have a closer look and show you around the inside. So this is the tent, fully pitched, door on the front. This is the porch area. It's not massive, so if it's chucking it down, you cannot sit outside unless you wanted to lash a tarp up. Just to give it some perspective, there it is. So if you've got your chairs outside and it's raining, you're gonna have to go in or put a tarp up over this part of the tent. Guy out points on the corners, fiberglass poles. Like I say, it's 150 centimeters tall, so you can almost stand up in it. You've got these vents at the bottom with the tie-up points. You get some good airflow flowing through and into the tent. And on the other side, the door there. So there you go. You can see as well this mesh through the top of the tent. Good airflow is achieved through that. So let's have a little look inside. You've got this flapper material which covers the zip. They're not YKK zips, but they are smooth and free running. and you've got these toggles on. As you can see, there's no snagging inside of the tent. You can see we've got this gear loft, store your bits and pieces up there. There's also a hook for a lantern or anything like that that you want to put up there. Zip it up. So like I say, the zips are decent quality, although they're not YKK zippers. They're good quality. Sorry for the noise. Whenever I come out and film any video, you guarantee on cue people will start leaf blowing the gardens and stuff like that. So if we look at the floor, like I say, 240, so 2.4 meters by 2.4 meters. So I'm kneeling up, I'm 6 foot tall, and you know, I don't touch the roof of the tent. So for example, you can imagine getting dressed in here. Well, you might have a bit of a privacy issue unless you're below the level of the bug mesh, but you could get dressed in here with ease, to be fair. And like I say, 4 sleep mats. This will easily accommodate that. You can easily get 4 sleep mats in this tent. The seams, they're taped just to provide that extra insurance, water seeping in, and that's a 3000mm hydrostatic head. If you want to vent the tent, just open that. So that allows your airflow there. You've got these tie out points just to roll that back and tuck it neatly out the way. Also, when the door is folded back, you've got these pockets here which you can stash the door in, so again, that's out the way. But in terms of room, absolutely bags of room in here. It's a party tent. You can have a good old time in here, a few beers, it'll be nice and comfortable in bad weather. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. I'll leave you with some outros, various features of the tent, or some music. Like I say, the link to purchase this tent is below in the description. It's a decent car camping tent. Could do with 2 of you pitching it, unless you're a master tent pitcher like myself, and even then it can be a little bit tricky. But if there's 2 of you doing it, it makes it a lot easier. But it's nice and sturdy, and you're going car camping with the kids this summer, having a bit of a staycation. You won't go far wrong for £97. So all the specs are below. The link to purchase it is below via Amazon. It's not an affiliate link. And thank you very much for your time in watching this video. If you found it in any way useful, please do give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you've got any questions about the tent at all, please drop me a comment below and I will answer every single one as best I can. Thank you very much for watching. Go and enjoy the great outdoors, and as always, respect the environment and leave no trace.